show you this angle of the garden. I wanted to come look at this peach tree. I'm worried it's gonna break a limb. I need to pull some peaches off of it and it would probably produce a lot bigger, sweeter peaches. Oh yeah, they're starting to drop. I'll throw those. Oh goodness, I didn't even know there were that many on there. I need to pull those all off. That poor tree. You know, I've weeded in the middle about 6 times, but this thing is just growing out of control. The corn's looking good. We're starting to get beans up the trellis there, the cattle panel. The sunflowers are coming on strong. It's almost time for me to start getting seeds, but I'm gonna pick these off of here right now. So the grapes look like they are also enjoying being hung up. Pumpkins are doing really good. Jami finally did get some onions to grow. And the zinnias are showing off all over. Ooh, I need to come deadhead these roses. These are cosmos in here. They take over whatever bed you put them in. But they're gorgeous, so we'll just let them keep growing. Oh, look at these. I don't know what Jami's got growing back here. Need to make sure we come and save some seeds. These pods here. Lots and lots of tomatoes. Those will be ripe here in a few days. Cucumbers, I'm growing like crazy. They didn't really make it up the trellis very far, but I need to make sure to save some of these seeds too. I love these sunflowers. They're awesome. This is a good row of zinnias right there. Those really came in. I think these are the dwarf sunflowers that were supposed to be all small because they're looking like they're about to go, but this is the pear tree that died. What are these flowers in here? Is this the nasturtium? It is. That's awesome. So some of these are not quite ready to go. You can see a little bit small, a little bit green, but this is what I'm fighting. The birds are really starting to get in here and go to town on my peaches. So I got to get them off, and we got some storms coming up here anyway. So I'm just going to let them ripen, and then we'll pull them all off and start again next year. I'll try to be more dedicated in the spring to pull some of these off so that they're not so bunched up, and I'll get bigger, better peaches. That's a pretty good box off of one little tree. I left a couple on. Hopefully they'll get a little bigger and ripen a little more. Some of these are kind of small, but they were just clumped up, so I just pulled them anyway so that to give the other ones that I left on a chance to get a little bit bigger. But these are freestone. They're so good and sweet and juicy. I had juice running down my elbow. I just ate about 5 of them. I'm probably going to be sick, but so good. I love fresh peaches, and even better when I know exactly where they came from and what's on them, which is nothing. 100% organic. You can see got a little bit of sap on them where the bugs were trying to get in there at them, but peach is doing its job. Bugs didn't really get in there. All right, now to do what I actually came here to do, which is weed whack in here where I've got all these sunflowers. They're growing. Look at those. Some of those are super tall, but the weeds are also growing, and I'm gonna trim them down with the weed whacker and hopefully give those sunflowers a little extra chance here at the end of the season to get big and really blossom out. So we've got more green beans than I thought. They're hiding up in here. Now these are supposed to be stringless, so hopefully they are. I'll be pretty excited about that. Some of these are getting big. Waited too long to pick them, but we'll get a bunch of good ones out of here, and the plant will keep producing here through August and September. Every year I think the sunflowers are my favorite thing to grow. Look at these bees on here all doing work. Got some tomatoes hiding up in here. These are getting close, but if you look down in here, those are ready. There's a bunch. Gotta keep them cooled so the plant keeps producing. Boy, you can't even hardly see them. This tomato's growing so good and thick. Oh, we've had birds in here. That one was mushy and half eaten. Way back down in there. So judging by over here, I think these grapes are done. I'm gonna try one real quick. Oh, those are so good. They're not very big, but I think that's just the variety of grape. Okay, we got to get these. I don't know if these are getting eaten or they're just starting to dry out. So you can see these bunches here hanging, but there are even more hiding, like tons down here. I'm gonna have to find like a grape juice recipe or something. I've never made grape juice. I made a lot of raisins. When I was a kid, we used to go down to the, down in Arizona, they grow a lot of grapes down in Phoenix area. And we would pick the grapes. After the farmers were all done, they'd let the public out and, you know, you pay $5 or $10 per, 5-gallon bucket of grapes. This is in the 80s and early 90s. And we would throw them out on the trampoline and just let them dry and we'd get raisins. That's how my mom liked to do it. So, we might be getting some raisins. This little grapevine, these two grapevines are proof that nature will, you give it a little water, and I haven't done much other than prop it up. Look, I got to get these. The wasps are what is eating them. See that guy on there? That's what's happening. But anyway, back to my story. We picked two vines up from, I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot, one of the two. They're across the street from each other. And the vines were, I think they were like 90% off. I think we paid $10 each for them. And we put them out here, they wintered, grew. They've been out here 2 years now and fallen over on the ground, breaking, and so many grapes. They're doing so well. And the wasps are eating my grapes. That's what it is. I'm like, why are these all shriveled up? Some are not. Look, he's going to town. I think I'm gonna need a bigger box. I've got probably about half off. I'm gonna leave some because some are still pretty green and the wasps aren't messing with those. But, oh look at him. Oh, that's a bee. So Jamie got a pitcher here, galvanized pitcher. Is it holding water or is it leaking?
Not, it's leaking, but it'll get
them home.
It's for looks only, apparently.
Okay.
But it's out of the shop, but I gotta trim some flowers.
You gonna get some of these zinnias?
Yeah.
What are these yellow ones? They're not zinnias, are they?
Yeah, they are. Zinnias just have a bunch of different.
They just look a little different variety.
Yeah. They're just shorter. I don't know. See, look, these are all the same plant. Some of them have more. There's some in the back. I don't know if I dare go back there again, but they have. Look,
I'm getting ready to go. Oh yeah, you get stung by a wasp.
Really tall. Look at these, like centers. There's just so many different varieties of zinnias.
Oh, look at this one. It's like curling.
Yeah, that one's starting to go.
All right, we have transferred to a much larger box. There's still quite a few grapes on there, but I'm gonna leave them on for now, and then we're gonna take these home and see if we can figure out what to do with them. And I'm hunting for large ears of corn. So the way you tell, oh, there's a little bug coming out the top. The way you tell if your corn's ready is it gets dry like this versus this one here still has a little bit of life. This one is getting ready to be dry. And that little corn is not even close. This one here. Looks like it's time. So the corn is not huge, right? It's a little on the smaller side as far as corn goes, but this is when it's so good and sweet. If you let it go too long, it gets chalky and loses a lot of its sweetness. Also carrots and onions. Some onions are ready to go. In an effort to process these quickly and not have a lot of them go to waste, because grapes are very fragile, we're throwing them on the dehydrator trays. I've got them washed and off of the stems, or whatever you call those. I don't have a lot of grape knowledge. This is my first experience with grapes since the 1990s, and as a kid, I was, just helping pick them. They look good. They look like candy. We got 7 trays in there. We're gonna start them up and get these dried. I think it'll probably take a couple days. Grapes are mostly juice and sugar. So I discovered a new trick this year without boiling my peaches. Once they're ripe, you can just cut them into like a pizza pie around the pit. We got Freestone. Come right off. No boiling. Pull the pit off, and then it's already sliced because I just sliced all the stuff off, and then I'm just peeling it off.
Oh my gosh, you are thank goodness you waited till these were almost overly ripe.
It's said to wait until they were very ripe, and then this is the way to do it. And I'm like, man, the juices are flowing. They're super sweet.
You're gonna be so sticky, and so is my floor and my counter.
I'm not getting any on your floor, but maybe the counter, yeah.
All right, what are you gonna do with all of these?
I haven't decided. I might freeze them. I'm debating on whether to can them, because that means I gotta be up with the canner for another little bit. And it's already 9 o'clock at night, which is when I have the time to do it. So maybe freeze them and then turn them into jam later. How's that?
Okay. What's the final decision, Zeb?
Vacuum seal, freezer. It's probably enough to do, I don't know, 5 or 6 quarts. But in reality, we're probably just going to use them on crepes, put them in peach shakes, and they'll be gone in a few weeks. And it'll be easier to just grab them out of the freezer. All right, I had to stop it because it was pulling all the juices out.
Oh, that's a mess.
It is a mess, but there's a little tray in here. We'll get it cleaned up. I did 2 cups in each of these, so we ended up with 4 quarts ready to go in the freezer, vacuum packed. I didn't vacuum them down super tight because it was just sucking all the juice out of them, which I knew would happen. Then I was like, oh man, gotta turn that off. But I do have about 1.5 quarts here ready to go in the fridge because we are gonna eat those probably tomorrow. Probably gonna make some crepes. All right, the magic mill has done its magic work. We got some pretty good raisins. They're actually really tasty. And I'm gonna get these peeled off and vacuum sealed in a little bit. I may have dried the top rack out here a little too much. These bottom ones got a little more plump to them. They're softer. So I might do them in different batches, like per tray on the vacuum seal. And we still have quite a few grapes. I was letting these ones ripen up a bit, which they have. And we're gonna do a jam out of these. Grapes got washed. Now I'm going to take them off the stems and put them down over in here. We're probably gonna get rid of any of the mushies, but I'm not actually gonna worry about too much of this kind of stuff because we're gonna blend them just a little bit, not a lot. We don't want a puree. We want kind of just pulped type. So we will use the pulse setting on the blender, but I'm gonna put them in here first, make sure we're not getting any stems in here, and then we'll go to the blender, and then we will show you how we're gonna cook them and add sugar and all that. So I'm gonna do this one-handed for a sec. When you're pulling them off the stem, if they're ripe, they'll just pretty much fall off and you don't get a lot of extra stem in there. If they're not ripe, the stem hangs on there like this guy here. I don't know why that one hung on, but I'm trying to get all those out of there. This is gonna be a lot of jam. I mean, I think this is like a 4-quart bowl, gallon size bowl. This one is double that, it's 2 gallons. This is still roughly halfway full, and this one's about to spill over. So I'm gonna get to blending up some of these, and then we'll keep on taking them off the stems. A lot of these are just falling off as I'm going through here, but there's still a lot of stems in there too. So I think I'm gonna do about 2 cups at a time. So this is gonna take a little bit. This is the tedious part of gardening. You think it's the weeding and the planting, but no, it's the preserving. All right, we're up to about 3 cups now. 3 full cups, maybe 4. All right, let's get the lid on. We're just gonna pulse. Okay, that's where we're at. That happened quick. Got my favorite stock pot out. It's a couple gallons. Use it to make cheese and jams and stews and just about everything else. And I thrifted it for $2. I think that's why it's my favorite. It works really well. I like the handles. They don't heat up on it. And it was $2. I'm gonna link the recipe we're using and the directions because it's a lot for me to write, and I'm not using my own recipe because I've never made grape jelly or jam before. So in between processing the grapes, which has taken way longer than I wanted it to, we've got some corn out of the garden. Picked it nice and early. It's like really small kernels, really sweet, no chalkiness yet. And we're gonna use these. What are we making, Jamie?
We're making chicken and street corn bowls, and then I'm making charro beans.
Okay.
So,
we'll show you what it looks like later, and I think there's a recipe I could share with you on this one too.
Yeah, we'll link all the recipes.
Pectin going in. This looks more like I'm not making jam. It says to boil it for a minute afterwards, after I get the pectin in there. Those grapes ended up not looking as pretty as like a purple grape jam, but I think they're gonna be awesome once we get them in the jars and water bath them. Also, my huge pan that I was telling you that I love was not even, I'm gonna have to do like 2 batches. It wasn't even close to being big enough. Up here on top of the fridge, you see that big pan that came from a convent?
Yeah, that pot with the lid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from a convent. It's from the 1800s. It just needs to be retinned.
So I've got to retin that. That would have been big enough. I could have done the whole big batch. And we got that in England and we brought that home. It was pretty awesome. All right, so I'm out here at the grill. I got my skillet, just got the chicken cooked because you're supposed to put this whole thing on a bed of rice. Like I said, we'll share the recipe, but I got a lot of corn in here. I'm cooking it in the chicken juices and oil. And this is gonna be the street corn portion of it. Okay, this is what we've been making on the side. The grape jam is still boiling. It's not coming together. Apparently my grapes were really juicy, so, which is good, you know, it'll be delicious. It's thickening up, but this is dinner. I'm gonna eat this right now. I feel like I've been making a mess. It's been splashing out of here, but the jars are sanitized, and this is, I guess, what we're gonna call the desired thickness. It's been boiling for like 3 hours now. I don't know if it's the kind of grapes we grew or the pectin was old. Can pectin get old? I'm not 100% sure. But it's thick now. I can't use the big copper pot to cook the jam in because it needs retinned. You can see it in there, it needs a new tin job. But we're gonna water bath in it. Second batch of grape jam is going. It's not quite jelly. I didn't, it is definitely got, it doesn't look like much like there. That doesn't look so good. The kids were not liking the way this looked over there. Pure, well, not pureed up, but blended up. But the jars look great. These are looking like proper jam. All right, in you go. You gotta get that water over the top. The lids are on very tight. Once I get these jars in there, if it doesn't go over the top, we'll add a little more water. Just as I suspected, now that the jars are in there, we've got plenty of water, maybe too much. We're gonna have to watch the boil on that. We only got about 1.5 inches to the top. Here is the jam. the next morning, all cooled off. Looks like everything's sealed. And it got to be, this is the second batch. It didn't stay on as long, but it should be nice thick jam. Now I need to make some bread to go with it. Fresh bread and homemade jam. I've got some fresh baked sourdough, and we are gonna get some butter on there. It's still nice and warm, and get some grape jam on there. I didn't even know it, but I used this antique Atlas mason with the strong shoulder. Anyway, it sealed up amazing. It's gonna get used again. It's more like a preserve. That's pretty thick. Lest you think that I'm baking my own sourdough bread. I get it in these sealed packages from Costco, and it's almost done cooking, and then you just bake it a little bit and it comes out super fresh. I could never be an actual food vlogger. I take huge bites. It's as good as I thought it was gonna be. It's worth all that effort. Look at that pretty girl. And the garden's not looking half bad either. You getting tomatoes?
Yeah, if you dig through the grass on the sidelines, I actually have a whole packet full.
All right, here's the real state of the garden. It's fine, it's producing. Look at those sunflowers.
There's like one.
We're gonna save seeds from that one because that one's an overachiever.
They're all that way. These like big
It's a
ones
volunteer one too. It's growing in the middle of the tomatoes
Yeah.
over there.
No, I'm just going along the sidelines here and pulling up like in the grass. There's like tomato plants that.
At this point in the fall, I'm probably not gonna stress weeding it, and I'll just clean it up once everything dies. Look at those nasturtiums. I never knew they were gonna be that pretty orange.
This year has been the best. We have them like in all the beds.
It's like a jungle.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we save a bunch of seeds off of these ones too.
Yeah, where I actually planted the tomatoes, I've had a few that have been ripe.
They've probably got about another week, and then the birds are gonna start getting them, so we gotta watch them. I'm gonna leave them because I want the bees to get all the pollen off of them. Like this one here, it's losing its petals. Hey, you got some eggs.
We have 4 more.
4 more, couldn't fit them all in.
Yeah.
So this one here is ready to go. See, it drooped over. They does that so that it drops all the seeds right there on the ground. So that one's ready.
Yeah, but look at this.
This one here is probably almost ready.
Amongst the green beans I didn't plant, they've all gone to seed here.
They're all beans now.
But you can actually take them, like when they dry out in the pod, you can dry the beans out and make them like dry bean soup, you know?
Pinto beans.
Yeah, almost like pinto beans, but there's tomatoes just all in.
The whole
And I
edge here.
pulled probably 1,000 tomato plants out of here. These are just the ones I need to get.
Yeah, we were picking them like weeds. All right, I gotta go water those birds.
All right, I think Jack already.
Are we ready to pull the pear tree out? It's like half alive and it just keeps dying down.
I think we just need to cut off the dead stuff, see what happens. I don't know.
All right. Jack's watering the birds. They're all super excited. Look at these little girls. They've had water all day, but they love it when it gets down in the dirt. You are making a ton of noise. Are these new hens getting your dirt water? These new little chicks? Look at them. Can't even hardly see. They look like something off of Sesame Street.
They do. I love that girl.
Oh yeah, Fred? Twist it. That's for plugging it in and keeping it warm in the winter so it doesn't freeze. All right, did you lock it in? See if you can lift that red thing off. See if you can lift it off. All right, now just flip it over. Spin it the other way though, because it won't let the water down if you don't. See that little tab is locked? Don't lift it up, just spin it.
Water's coming out.
Yeah, but not enough.
How?
Spin it. There you go. Keep spinning. Lock it in the other way. Keep going.
It is locked.
All right, now that tab's open and it'll let the water out. Because we've been cooking a lot, this is my dirty grill. I hardly ever use the grill anymore. I need to get like a flat top grill or something. I really like those, but this is that pink squash that's growing on the trellis that keeps falling over because the squash gets too huge. They weigh like 40 or 50 pounds each when they're full size. But I'm just gonna grill these up and put some seasoning on them here. I might do some Montreal steak seasoning just because they'll take pretty much whatever flavor, but they're like a really, really mild pumpkin. But they're a winter squash, so they will stay good if you keep them dry and cool for quite a long time. And they get big. They're supposed to get big. You can just eat them. They don't really change flavor. I haven't noticed from the size we've picking them. So, gonna get this going. We're gonna have it with our pasta tonight. Look how fun my sunflower patch is. Look how tall those are getting. That's probably 15 feet tall. A lot of gardening in this one. The next video will probably be us cleaning up the garden and getting rid of stuff. We do have some projects that we're gonna get started here shortly. If you watch the Jami Vintage channel, we just moved a couple of chairs into the cottage. So once Jami starts shopping for furniture, that means that we're going to be getting the project done soon. And I promise that in the next video, we'll have more of Jami. She was doing a lot of side quests this time around, mostly running kids around and shipping because we've been busy doing that.
Seb's super good at filming himself. In fact, sometimes I have to say, hey, can you film me so people know that I'm actually doing some stuff too? But in the video, we are going hunting, so we'll include some beautiful Utah footage next time, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe and notification bell. And then if it works out, there will be some sourdough headed your way. Zeb decided he was tired of buying it, so started his own start. That's in the pantry, and we'll see you guys all in the next episode.
Catch you guys later.